Over 100,000 Israelis displaced. Refugees in their own country, no other way to put it. And they had to leave everything behind, let it be in southern communities, obviously, but also from northern communities. And try to deal with the trauma, to face the grief, and get some sense of control, renewed control over their lives. Impossible, truly impossible. But in a bid to help, JDC has been establishing alternative education programs at kindergartens and schools for some 2,000 displaced children currently in Dead Sea hotels after their communities in the south have been evacuated. And joining us now in studio, Neil Pal, head of the youth program at the JDC. Thank you very much, sir, for coming in. So tell us a bit about the programs you had created really in a split second, more or less, already up and running.
Yeah, we did. Thanks firstly for having me. Maybe a quick word about the JDC, the organization, to understand the context of what we're doing. The JDC is the largest Jewish humanitarian organization working worldwide. We've been working a little bit over 100 years in over 70 countries. And in Israel, our role is a little bit different. In Israel, we are working as an R&D organization, developing needs, social and educational needs, with the government and with a lot of partners, organization partners from the civic society. And as we were exposed to the horrifying images and news flashes coming at Saturday, this terrible Saturday, and 7th of October, we understood we need to react. And less than 48 hours after this horrifying occurred 2 weeks ago, we were asked to come and coordinate the education operation in a site, one site that refugees were moved to in the Dead Sea. Actually calling it now the Dead Sea. In Hebrew it's a different word, but calling this place the Dead Sea, there is a lot of living over there, a lot of life over there. 8,000 refugees and 2,000 children were placed over there, and we just came. Our first staff member moved along 48 hours after everything began, and started to understand what is needed. First of all, to understand who is over there. People didn't know what is happening over there, and trying to start building schools. The first school of Sderot was operating 48 hours after they being moved from their place, from their town.
So, yeah, trying to perhaps begin the rebuilding of a community through rebuilding the younger generation, and then set some sort of a sense of normalcy in this so abnormal reality, surreal reality. And obviously, the perhaps main dilemma is how you tackle trauma, because those kids, you know, they've been through hell and back, and you know, this sense of certainty in their short lives are completely erased at this point in time. So how do you address it? Do you address it at all, or do you just try to give them time off, worries? What do you do?
Well, as you move to Professor Gonor, you mentioned normality.
Yeah.
I think that's our main mission over there. Look, there are amazing communities from kibbutz, from Sderot, from Ofakim over there. And our main mission is to give tools and to allow them to get back to normality in this abnormal situation that they're in. I used to use two examples to demonstrate it. One is an operation that we're done partnering with Dror Education Network. Inbal, the CEO of this network, her sister from Be'eri, the first thing she done, like many other Israelis, just went to the Dead Sea hotels, and she reached us, and we understood together that the children need kindergarten, because addressing trauma and helping children is getting back the day routine, and you can give back treatment through a day routine with professionals, like their kindergarten teachers, like their psychologists that can work around with them. And in a matter of 48 hours, a six kindergarten classes complex was founded in the David Hotel using tents, air conditioning that we founded, and together there are even bottles and hats with their names. The kindergarten class got the signs that they have in Be'eri.
So the same name of the kindergarten they had in Be'eri. Be'eri, by the way, one of the hardest hit communities with scenes that, again, remind us of East Europe way back when. So those same names and those same...
When they came back in the morning, they saw the same sign, and they had bottles and hats and drawers for their paintings with their names, waiting for them with the best equipment, and now trying to get their routine. Another example, 24 hours after being moved there, a principal from Sderot opened her school for the children with her staff, and understanding that she needs another staff. You have to understand the teachers are suffering the same as the whole population. They're not disconnected from what is happening, so I understood what they need. The principal showed us a video conference that she made with a WhatsApp with a group of soldiers and 3 trucks of movers that extracted the chairs and the desks from the road from her school, that the children 48 hours after being moved there can sit on the same chair that were sitting in their school in Sderot. We all the time understanding what the needs and giving the community the way to deal with the trauma. Yesterday, I came back yesterday from the Dead Sea. I waited for the silence. I rode my bike towards there, and happily my battery on my speaker went dead from the all talking on the way over there. And I waited to get back to the center of Israel. Our staff there is 24/7. And as I laced my helmet on, and I tried riding upwards to Arad, all the curves uphill, I found out that my visor is open, letting the wind dry out my tears. Because the minute it got silence, I thought of the kids that we saw yesterday in Be'eri kindergarten classes being normal. They played catch, they draw. And I just thought about what the images they were exposed to. This is trauma that their teachers, their parents, the whole community is dealing right now, and probably will deal with all their lives.
Entire nation, for certain. And on that note, it's also important to mention that this. I wouldn't say time off for children, but time on for children is time off for parents who are obviously dealing with, again, scope and scale of grief and pain that is unimaginable. And you mentioned this personal journey you had back yesterday, and those sad yet happy tears to an extent, all mixed together, because the only answer to this scope and scale and depth of death that we've experienced is life. And what you're creating now in the Dead Sea for this community is a sense of life.
We are, but we are not alone. There are so many organizations, the Regional Council of Tamar over there, offices, and there is a lot of doing from the manager of the hotels that see themselves as responsible for everything. There is so much doing over there, but there is so much needed over there. We're in the JDC, we're developing programs. We have a phrase in the JDC that it takes us 9 months to develop a program, from understanding what is the need to running on the field.
That's a speedy program.
We are developing in less than 9 hours. Yeah. We're developing answers in less than 9 hours, not alone, with an amazing community and civil servants over there.
And before we let you go, briefly, Nir, if you can, you come from the ground, you're seeing those people there. What do they need the most at this point in time?
I think the thing they need most is time together. They need to mourn. They're mourning, even the one that haven't lost from the first circle, but they need the time to mourn, and they need to understand that we are all with them, to listen to them. Yeah. They know what they need, and that's what we're all trying to do, not just to shove our trucks over there, but really to be a second line and helping them to start build up their life again.
And to learn from them what the strength of community means. As a community, they're sticking together in better and, unfortunately, in the worst we can possibly imagine. Nir Pal, Head of Youth Programs at the JDC, thank you so very much for what you're doing and for sharing it with us. Thank you very much.